We're seeing ground invasions in southern Lebanon, up to the Litani River. I mean, that was the buffer zone. They've extended the buffer zone. So it's about double the land area that is currently occupied by the IDF in parts of southern Lebanon, even eastern Lebanon, and the southern suburbs of Beirut. I mean, all of these regions are being occupied. Injury, death, suffering, amputations, all of this is being inflicted on the wider region. I mean, the 8th of April, Black Wednesday, 350 people killed in one day by the IDF. This is why the US is decoupling from Israel. This is why we're seeing what we're seeing, and maybe it's just to at least stand a chance in the midterms. But I think the US looks at this and says, you know, we have to at least make the media, make it seem like we are, we're not okay with this, because no one in their right mind could be okay with this. What we saw in Gaza, genocide, we're now seeing in Lebanon. 4,000 killed in not even 3 months, right? 4,000 killed in not even 3 months. These are the facts of the case. These are the facts of the conflict, right? Southern Lebanon, like I said, there was a buffer zone up to the Litani River. That buffer zone has been doubled now, right? It's moved up at least, double the space. It's been moved up. So we've got the IDF looking to occupy southern Lebanon the same way they occupied all of those territories in 1967 during the Six-Day War. We're now seeing that in southern Lebanon. And when you actually look at it, as bad as the Israelis are, they haven't formally annexed, they haven't formally took, land since 67. In 67, they took so much, right? They took so much. They were full, but now they want more. They took Gaza. They took the West Bank. They took East Jerusalem. They took the Sinai Peninsula, right, which was later given back to Egypt, and then they took the Golan Heights, right? So they took all of this land, and since then, from 67 to now, they haven't took anything, and now they're going into the southern Lebanon. The Israeli cabinet ministers are making it super crystal clear, right? They're making it very crystal clear that they're the only reason they're there is to occupy the territory, to take the territory, to annex the territory, right? And this is what we're seeing, right? I mean, should we be surprised? Should we be surprised? And this is the most important part. The conflict started on the 2nd of March. The Iran war started on the 28th of February. So a few days apart. And while everyone had their attention on Iran, Israel were killing upwards of hundreds of people in just a week, right? In just a week's time, right? And that is now, like I said, a 4,000 death count, not counting injury, probably in the tens, if not hundreds of thousands, right? The most important part, obviously that's terrible, they're mainly Shia diaspora in southern Lebanon, but nevertheless, when we see children die, whether it be in Gaza, whether it be in Palestine, in Sudan, it's terrible to see, right? It's terrible to see, because all children are innocent. But the IDF, the Israelis do not seem to see that. I mean, Ben-Gvir gets on Twitter. Ben-Gvir, right? National security guy in Israel, gets on Twitter. And what does he say? He makes it very clear. He says that, for one Israeli mother that is killed, this is actually on his Twitter, by the way. You can have a look at it. It's not even deleted. They're making it crystal clear for us how emboldened they feel. One Israeli mother equates 1,000 Lebanese mothers. So if Hezbollah goes into northern Israel, as they did, they went into northern Israel, they struck northern Israel, that's when Israel retaliated on the 2nd of March. When Hezbollah go into northern Israel and they strike and they hit an Israeli mother, they now have to kill 1,000 Israeli 1,000 Lebanese mothers. They're making it clear. They're literally saying that our lives are more important than yours. That's what they're saying. As far as I'm aware, when Hezbollah hit northern Israel, there was no deaths from that, as far as I'm aware. So, the tweet doesn't even make any sense. Hezbollah goes into northern Israel, right, and doesn't kill anyone. So therefore, they go into, they create a buffer zone, they extend the buffer zone, and they've killed 4,000. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, does it? That's not comparable. And it's the same thing, October the 7th. A few hundred people killed, and now that equates 70,000. I mean, that's comparable, right? No, it's not. It's not comparable in the slightest. So what we saw in Gaza, we're now seeing in Lebanon. And the funniest part about this, the thing I'll end on, is that what Israel did is they struck, I believe it was the 14th of June, they struck Beirut, right? Not a region that Hezbollah is, not the southern suburbs of Beirut, central Beirut, right? The capital. They struck the capital. Why did they strike the capital? Hezbollah's not in the capital. It's the same thing with the West Bank. Why are they striking in the West Bank? Hamas is not in the West Bank. Why are we seeing thousands of death? Hundreds of children died, right? Dead. Lives that we'll never get back. Why are we seeing that in the West Bank when Hamas does not reside in the West Bank? Why are we seeing on the 14th of June strikes going into Beirut when Hezbollah's not in Beirut? It's the same thing. What we saw 2 years ago, we're now seeing in Lebanon. It's calmed down in Palestine. It's calmed down. Now it's Lebanon. Who's after Lebanon? What is it, Turkey next? What about after Turkey? Is it Jordan next? So where is this going to end? This is why when people say, how can you support a country like Iran? Which I don't. If Iran wins the war, which they have, hopefully that should send the signals to Israel, or at least then there's a competitor to Israel, right? Who's willing to stand up against Israel. But the only reason they hit Beirut was because they wanted to, firstly, diminish the chances of a deal or an agreement being reached between the Iranians and the United States, right? And then two, they want to test Iran's buttons. Iran says, if you hit Beirut, if you hit Lebanon again, we're gonna send strikes into northern Israel. And they hit Beirut. And Iran sends strikes into northern Israel. So, I mean, there's so many regional actors in all of this. We've really gone over the entire conflict from Iran to Lebanon now. I mean, what we can see is that perhaps this conflict will die down too. I mean, we don't want to see in the tens of thousands of suffering. But we'll see what happens, right? If Iran are a man of their word, I know obviously they are very, emboldened at the moment because of the success that they've had, in going up against the US. So we'll see what happens there. But, whether it's Iran, whether it's an enemy of ours, there's no greater enemy of ours than Israel. And that's just the fact of the matter, right? Whether it be Hezbollah, the Houthis, I mean, these are not particularly good. Iran, not particularly good, but they're not even close to Israel in the current conflicts that we're seeing today. In the current, not in the past, in the current.